All right, so here we go. The first thing I want to share is the dates. All right, so this is the case records for Sunny and Lehua, like showing like the dates and stuff for different court dates. You can see where they were like arraigned, the pretrial conference, the original trial date, and all this other kind of stuff. So as of now, they have they each have a status hearing scheduled for 7/15/2022 at 2 p.m. local time. And their trial date is currently set for September 26th. So that's that. The next thing I want to go over is the indictment. And I'm not going to get too deep into the indictments because it's pretty much exactly what was said in the press conference. I'm just going to go over the first part with the charges again. So we have the prosecuting attorney is Stephen S. Owens, and the deputy prosecuting attorney is Tiffany L.H. Kale, and those are the two who will be seeing in court when it comes trial time. And you see it is the state of Hawaii versus Lehua and Isaac Kalua. I'm going to read the charges and then we're going to skip this document because, like I said, this is pretty much exactly what he said in the press conference. The indictment is really basic, it doesn't go into any kind of details. So, count one, murder in the second degree. Count two, murder in the second degree. Count three, hindering prosecution in the first degree. Count four and count five, abuse of a family or household member. Count six and seven, persistent non support. Count eight and nine, endangering the welfare of a minor in the second degree. So those are the charges on the indictment. And the rest of the indictment, if you've ever had the pleasure of reading an indictment, is just formal, like formal language about the counts. It's basically the statute, except it's put into a specific case format. Like count one says, on or between August 18, 2021, to and including September 13, 2021, in the city and county of Honolulu, state of Hawaii, Lehua Kalua being the parent or guardian of any other person having legal or physical custody of Ariel, did intentionally or knowingly cause the death of Ariel, a person less than 18 years of age, by intentionally or knowingly inflicting injury on her, yada, yada, yada. So it's basically the statute, but they plug in the names of the parties involved. And that's pretty much how the rest of the document reads for each count. For each count is basically the statute with the names of the people involved in this specific case plugged in. So we're not going to go through each one of those. But what we are going to dig into are these court documents, because the court documents are what's going to give us the details of the case. Okay, hold on a second. For some reason, it doesn't want to load from my computer, so I'm just going to grab it from the internet real quick. Fortunately, I know exactly where it is. Loading. I don't know why it wouldn't load from my computer, though. I downloaded it specifically for today. Here we go, got it up. Let's get me out of the way. All right. Family Court of the First Circuit, State of Hawaii. Now, the reason it is in family court, let me explain it the way that it was understood to me. It is in family court because of the age of the victim. Um, this original document is in family court because of the age of the victim, and it started in family court. However, their trials and the criminal side of it is going to be in criminal court, which is circuit court. All right. You see the bill was set at no bond by Judge Thomas Haya. Family Court of the First Circuit, State of Hawaii, playing it. This is from Detective Alan Oku. I'm going to read this part. First, being duly sworn, says on or about August 18th, 2021 to and including September 13th, 2021 in the city and county of Honolulu, state of Hawaii, Lehua Kalua being the parent or guardian or any other person having legal or physical custody of Ariel, did intentionally or knowingly cause the death of Ariel, a person less than 18 years of age, by intentionally or knowingly inflicting injury on her, and or by intentionally or knowingly omitting to perform a duty imposed by law, to wit, Lehua Kalua, while at the scene of a crime, and knowing that Ariel, the subject of the crime, was suffering from serious physical harm, did intentionally or knowingly fail to obtain or attempt to obtain aid from law enforcement or medical personnel, that should say personnel, or medical personnel, though Lehua Kalua could have done so without danger or peril to anyone, thereby committing the offense of murder in the second degree, in violation of, and it gives the sections of the Hawaii Revised Statutes for which were violated. Lehua Kalua is subject to sentencing according to Section 7066660.2 of the Hawaii Revised Statutes, where in the course of committing or attempting to commit a felony, she caused the death or inflicted serious or substantial bodily injury upon Ariel, who was 8 years of age or younger, and such a disability was known or was reasonably should have been known to Lehua Kalua. The second section is just going to say that if she's convicted, um, she's subject to sentencing under, and it's going to give them the statute. That was the introductory part. Y'all excuse me. I think it's these headphones and like the the way it makes air pressure weird with your ears or something. Because I'm not yawning until I put them on, and then all of a sudden I can't help yawning. Okay. And this is where we're going to get to the meat and potatoes, the arrest warrant affidavit. So, in the family court of the First Circuit, State of Hawaii, affidavit is the court of warrant of arrest, State of Hawaii, City and County of Honolulu. Detective Alan Oku, hereinafter Detective Oku of the Honolulu Police Department, hereinafter HPD, first duly sworn under oath, deposes and says he has reason to believe that the offense of murder in the second degree has been committed and that the perpetrator of the offense is Lehua Kalua. Murder in the second degree is in violation of Section 707, 701.5, 706 656, 702-203, and 663-1.6 of the Hawaii Revised Statutes. The facts tending to establish the grounds for the issuance of warrant or of arrest for the said Lehua Kalua are as follows. Your affiant is a resident of the city and county of Honolulu, state of Hawaii. That he is a detective employed by the Honolulu Police Department, hereinafter HPD. And he has been so employed for 20 years. That he is currently assigned to the HPD Criminal Investigative Division Homicide Detail and has been so assigned for the past 5 years. That in the course of performing his assigned duties, your affiant has investigated numerous crimes involving murder in the second degree and other related offenses and has testified in the courts of the state of Hawaii. On September 13th, 2021, a affiant was assigned to further investigate a missing persons case that was later reclassified to a murder in the second degree case, and that was documented under a key HPD report number, and it gives the report number that allegedly occurred at 41610 Puha Street in Honolulu, Hawaii. Based on the review of the HPD report, interviews, and follow-up investigations, which resulted in the identification. Please forgive my insane family in the background, y'all. Based on the review of the HPD report, interviews, and follow-up investigation, which resulted in the identification of the suspect in this case, this investigation has revealed the following information. On September 13th, 2021, at about 6:25 a.m., HPD officer Joel Patterson, hereinafter Officer Patterson, was sent to 41610 Puha Street, Waimanalo, Hawaii, on report of a missing person. Upon his arrival at the scene, Officer Patterson met with Lehua Kalua, hereinafter Lehua, who identified herself as the adoptive mother of the missing person, Ariel. Hereinafter IPK, I'm just going to call her Ariel. A 6-year-old female minor born in 2014. Lehua informed Officer Patterson that she had last seen Ariel at approximately 9 p.m. on September 12, 2021, when Ariel went to bed in her own room. When Lehua awoke on September 13, 2021, she noticed that the side door of the house was ajar, and when she went to check Ariel's room, she found that Ariel was missing. Okay, guys, hold on a second. I have been designated babysitter, so we'll see how this works out. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, Lehua informed Officer Patterson that she had last seen. Okay, check her Ariel's room and she found this. Okay, Lehua described Ariel as being 3 feet 3 inches tall, weighing approximately 46 pounds, and stated that she was last seen wearing a black hoodie, black leggings, multicolored socks, and black Nike brand slides with pink soles. Lehua further related that in the past, Ariel would go out to the garage unnoticed and sometimes fall asleep there. Her Lehua, Ariel, would also open the house windows purportedly to talk to someone outside, but that no persons were ever observed talking to her. On occasion, Ariel would leave the doors unlocked, which Lehua explained to her was dangerous. So on that section right there, those three sections, I just want to point out. Firstly, we've got the fully dressed with socks on. She was last seen around 9 p.m., right? But she was last seen wearing full clothes with shoes. I think in 5 and 6 we see the first attempts of exactly. I don't believe it either, right? We see the first attempts where Lehua is trying to assault the character of the victim, Ariel, because she said she would go out to the garage unnoticed and sometimes fall asleep there. So just trying to already set in these people's mind that there's a pattern of her falling asleep somewhere other than in the house where she's supposed to. Says that Ariel would open the windows to talk to someone outside, but that no one was ever seen talking to her. So that right there says that she's already trying to portray Ariel as some kind of like she has some kind of mental issues. She's talking to imaginary people. Blah blah blah. Already saying that she would leave doors unlocked. So the way that it's phrased is as if she's trying to say that Ariel would intentionally leave doors unlocked for whatever reason. So that right there, she's setting the stage for she could have easily have slipped out, or someone could easily have slipped in and taken her because the doors are habitually unlocked by Ariel herself. Nehua informed Officer Patterson that their door sensor was activated at approximately 1:30 a.m. on September 13th. So they're saying that the door system, but check out this next part. Nehua stated that they have a camera system installed, but that it constantly crashes and goes on and off. So basically, she's setting the stage right there for there might not be video footage of her leaving or someone coming in because our camera system doesn't really work the way it's supposed to. The door sensor went off, so we know the door opened, but we have no idea if there's any thing to show who went in or out because the camera always messes up. So she's already like planning ahead for an alibi. She's trying to answer questions before they're even asked. Things that she already knows are going to come up. And this is how you know when somebody's lying because they're giving too much information. Two, they're trying to answer any questions that where someone who's looking at this situation might see holes in the story. They're already trying to preclusively fill in those holes with information that will make everything fit the narrative that they're trying to push out there. Responding HPD officers, along with Ariel's family members and members of the general public, checked the area surrounding the house and numerous locations in the Waimanalo area, but were unable to locate the missing child. Check this out. Responding HPD officers, along with one, Ariel's family, two, members of the general public. You see nothing about the Kaluas. So it was the police, the Bio family, and good-hearted volunteers who were looking for this baby, not the people who adopted her and were supposed to be caring for her. They who identified Ariel's biological parents as Melanie Joseph, hereinafter Joseph, and Adam Sellers, hereinafter Sellers, who, to her knowledge, were homeless and living in the Waimanalo area. I'm sure that with an island as small as it is, and with the Waimanalo uh, community being as small as it is, that if she had custody and had custody of these children and had adopted at least one officially at this point, that she had an awareness of the parents, who they were, what their current status was. I'll put it like this: like my hometown is not the biggest place, like it's not on the DFW Metroplex size, um, but it's also not small. It's not on the podunk middle of nowhere level. It's an average size, decent sized city. But the people that I associate with, the people who I have close connections with, if I don't know exactly what they're doing, I might not be in direct contact with them from day to day, but I know what their general situation is. 9 times out of 10, if you were to ask me about someone directly connected, like one of my children's aunts or um, my brother's like brother on his dad's side, I might not be able to tell you exactly, oh, they live at this address, they work here, da 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 da. But I would be able to tell you, man, a couple of weeks ago I heard that he was in a rehab clinic. Or last I heard he owned a shop over on what you call it, he doing pretty good for himself. You know what I'm saying? So for her to just generalize it and then she really don't know the parents, she don't really know their situation, and pointing out that they're homeless. So again, she's already pre-writing the narrative that she's trying to put out there. She's already trying to embed it in these people's minds. She's already implanted the idea of Ariel might have mental health issues. Ariel talks to imaginary people. Ariel sneaks out. Ariel leaves the doors unlocked. Ariel comes from parents who are known to be homeless. We're already implanting some information there. Lehua and her husband Isaac Kaluas III, also known as Sonny, hereinafter Isaac, adopted 3 of the biological children of Joseph and Sellers, including, and it gives the initials for um, Ariel and 2 of the other siblings. They are also foster parents of another sibling who is another biological child of Joseph and Sellers. And the reason I'm not giving their the other children's initials and years of birth is because even though it's here on the screen, most people aren't going to take the time to read that. They're going to listen, and I just want to keep as little. I want to put out as little identifying information about the other siblings as I possibly can. Like I don't really even want people to think about them because I don't want their privacy getting invaded. I don't want people stalking them, or you know what I'm saying, putting their information out there, blah blah blah. Pursuant to a search warrant approved and signed by the Honorable Karen L. Homa and documented as SW number 2021-496, affiant received records from the State of Hawaii Child Welfare Services, hereinafter CWS. The records indicated that these 2 siblings began residing with Lehua and Isaac in February of 2019. So by August of 2021, we're looking at 2.5 years almost to the date. 2 years, 6 months, and whatever days. The CSW records also included an adoption decree filed on February 11th, 2021. The adoption decree indicated that the decree was effective January 26, 2021. So at least one of the siblings was officially adopted on January 26th of 2021, and possibly more than, because it said that they had adopted 3 of them. So it's possible that all 3 of them were officially adopted that day. But and we know for a fact at least one of them, and at least Ariel, was officially adopted as far back as January 26th, 2021. On September 13th, 2021, HPD officers located Ariel's biological mother, Joseph, who indicated that she had no knowledge of Ariel's whereabouts. Joseph related that Sellers was currently residing at a residential treatment facility, which was later confirmed by Detective Michael Garcia. Both Joseph and Sellers denied any involvement in the disappearance of Ariel. So she was probably already trying to suggest that it's possible her biological parents found her and came and got her, which also would make sense because why would, if they're going to go so far as to risk imprisonment and all this other kind of stuff to steal one child, to kidnap one child, because since the child was legally adopted and legally taken out of their custody, then that means that if they came and took the child without permission, that's a kidnapping charge. At the very least, it's an interference with custody. So she's already trying to throw that idea out there that maybe they had something to do with it. But it wouldn't make sense, because if if Adam and Melanie were going to take the time to come and risk felonies to take one child, why not just take all four? I mean, if you're going to go for the gusto, you're going to go for the gusto. You're not going to just half do it, you know what I'm saying, or come half stepping, as they used to say back in the day. On September 13th, 2021, at approximately 3:38 p.m., Detective Ryan Kao, hereinafter Detective Kao, conducted a recorded interview with Lehua, who provided background of their family and recounted the events that led up to IPK's disappearance. Lehua provided the following information to Detective Kao regarding the events of September 12th, 2021 and September 13th, 2021. On the evening of September 12th, 2021, they ate dinner together, after which the girls played for a while. They went riding to get out of the house, but did not stop anywhere. Ariel seemed fine with no issues and no tantrums. She had to throw tantrums in there. Kind of like when Trezell West said they're going to be rambunctious, they kind of already put an idea in your head. He was trying to portray that they're always doing something, and she's trying to put that by specifically saying no tantrums gives you an idea that the norm is for her to have tantrums. Otherwise, the fact that she didn't have a tantrum wouldn't stand out to you. And went to bed approximately 9 p.m. wearing a hoodie and leggings, which she normally wore to sleep. So are we to believe that this child normally went to bed wearing a hoodie and leggings in Hawaii? Or anywhere but in Hawaii, in hot Hawaii. And that's her normal sleepwear, a hoodie and leggings. Lehua went to her room at about the same time, but returned to Ariel's room approximately 20 minutes later and saw that Ariel was asleep. Lehua woke up now remember that, she came back in the room, and the very last time she saw, according to her, Ariel, was about 20 minutes after she went to bed. So about 9:20 p.m. And that Ariel was asleep. That's going to be important. Lehua woke up between 5:50 a.m. and 6 a.m. on September 13th and discovered that the side door of the house was closed but unlocked. Again, going back to her trying to say, Ariel usually leaves the doors unlocked. Or in other words, Ariel intentionally unlocks doors at night. She then went to Ariel and Big Sister's shared room, where she observed that Big Sister was asleep on her bed, but Ariel was not there. So when she went to bed, the last thing she saw at 9:20 p.m. was Ariel asleep on her bed, wearing her hoodie and her leggings, and then at 6 o'clock-ish in the morning, Ariel wasn't there. Lehua woke up Big Sister and asked her where her sister was, but Big Sister stated that she did not know. What'd you say, Rob? But me being the reader, I am told. But me being the reader, it told me that the mom is always agitated by Ariel's presence. And that's exactly how it seems. It seems like Ariel, for some reason, got under Lehua's skin. God only knows why. But she did not like this child. And so Ariel probably could have sat in the corner quiet as can be, and that would have got on Lehua's nerves. It would have been one more reason for her to hate this child. Oh, she's always just sitting there quiet. I don't know what she's thinking. She's psychotic. You know what I'm saying? All right. Lehua further stated that Big Sister is a heavy sleeper. Here we go. Answers for everything. The sister sleeps heavy, so if somebody came in and stole Ariel, Big Sister wouldn't have heard anything anyway. They then searched both the interior and exterior of the house, but were unable to locate Ariel. Isaac then left with the kids to drive around the area while Lehua called the police. Lehua further stated that a neighbor stated that she saw a silver car leaving the driveway about 1 a.m., but that the neighbor thought it was a family member of the Kaluas. Now, I got to go back and do a little bit of research because there was something about a car pulling up to their house and something about a text message about send her out. I got to do some digging and make sure that that was associated with this particular date and this. There's something about camera footage. So keep that in mind. If I forget, y'all remind me that I need to dig that up. Nahua stated that lately Ariel has been going outside of the house every day or every other day, and that she would say she's waiting for her mom to come and get her. So again, she's trying to slightly, just kind of on the cool, throw the parents in there, and then saying that Ariel says she's waiting for them to come get her. Maybe on the cool, trying to suggest that somehow Ariel has had some kind of communication with her parents, or that Ariel, again, going back to the whole Ariel got issues, she's talking to people that's not there. Or that Ariel actually was talking, even though they never saw anyone outside of the window. Maybe they're trying to suggest that Ariel actually was talking to someone, and that someone was the parents, but they were hiding, so we never saw them, but Ariel was actually talking to them. She's playing throwing a whole lot of stuff on the table to where you could take a thought and run with it. You know what I'm saying? She ain't saying it, but she's saying it between the lines, between the lines. On September 20th, 2021, at about 2:04 p.m., your affiant conducted a recorded interview with Isaac, who was read his constitutional rights in the presence of his attorney, William Harrison. William Harrison is one of the top criminal defense attorneys in Hawaii, which is crazy that they actually brought him in almost from day one. September 20th, he was questioned, but they had already had him on board with them way back a week prior. Okay. After which he agreed to waive his rights and provide a statement. Isaac related the following information. Sorry about the noise. Had to adjust his headset. He could not recall exact times or details, but remembered that on September 12th, 2021, Nehua took two of the siblings out in their Lexus while he stayed home with Ariel and the fourth sibling. Nehua returned in the afternoon with the two girls, and they ate dinner sometime before 6 p.m. He did not recall anyone in the family leaving the house that evening. He's already claiming, yeah, exactly, Ross. She's creating scenarios to create confusion. He last saw Ariel at approximately 7 p.m. in the kitchen with Lehua. He went to bed sometime between. Hold on. Yes, here I come. So Gabs managed to scare the crap out of me. She just came banging on the door. Gigi, it's an emergency. I'm thinking, oh my God, because there ain't nobody here but me, her, and Bubby, the 2-year-old. Oh my God, what happened to Bubby? I'm flying out of here. Well, Bubby has reached the butt naked stage. You know, the stage where they want to take off all their clothes, take off their diaper, run. You got to chase them and fight them to put a diaper on. Bubby has reached that stage, and that was the emergency. Gabby says, Gabby says, Gigi, and she's handing me a diaper, talking, she's booty naked. These kids, man, they just crack me up. I swear. Okay, where are we at here? He last saw Ariel at approximately 7 p.m. in the kitchen with Lehua. So he's already trying to pass the buck. The last time I saw her, she was with my wife. So you have to ask my wife what happened because I wasn't there. He went to bed sometime between 8 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. and did not wake up until about 6:30 a.m. on September 13th, 2021, when he heard Lehua screaming that Ariel was missing. So he's probably actually going to say that he takes some kind of medication that causes him to sleep heavy. I went to bed. I don't know what happened. Only thing woke me up was my wife was screaming, and that's what woke me up. Anything between now and then, I don't know nothing about it. First checking around the house for Ariel, he left in their Lexus to drive around the area while Lehua contacted the police. Isaac stated that he went to work on August 19th, 2021. He was scheduled to be off on August 20th, 2021. On August 21st, he woke up feeling ill and went to the emergency room for treatment. He was seen for possible COVID symptoms. Okay, so setting up the alibi. Okay, so he worked on the last time Ariel was seen on the home surveillance camera was on August 18th. Isaac went to work on the 20th. On the 19th, the next day. He was scheduled to be off on the 20th, which would have been the second day after Ariel was last seen. But what he did was on the 21st, the first day he should have gone back to work, day 3 after Ariel was last seen, he goes to the emergency room claiming that he might have COVID symptoms. Now, here's the thing. We don't know if he was diagnosed with COVID or not. All we know is that he went to the emergency room saying that he had COVID symptoms. Anytime, I know that on the job that I was working during the pandemic, anytime that you had any type of COVID symptoms, if you had to get tested for COVID, or if you tested positive for COVID. Actually, we're not even going to talk about testing positive. But if you show symptoms, or if it was known that you had been tested for the virus, you could not come back to work for X amount of days. It was mandatory that you take the time off. Our above store supervisor actually sent one of our managers home because she came into the store. She came to the store and the manager had a cold, and so she was like, "Oh, you got COVID symptoms. You need to take off." She literally sent her home, and she could not come back. Even after she took her test, she had to wait 2 weeks before she could come back to work. So here he is setting up the alibi. He's setting it up to have time off. That's going to be important too because you're going to hear some information from Big Sister later on in this. Isaac further stated that he took vacation from work for approximately 2 weeks from August 21st, 2021 to September 7th, 2021 as a result of the doctor visit. Now that could be the truth. He took vacation time as a result of the doctor visit. He didn't say the doctor took him off work or any of that. Now it could be that he informed his job, hey, I went in, I think I have COVID. They said you need to get tested, don't come back for 2 weeks. He said, well, you know what? I can get paid for these 2 weeks that I'm taking off because I've got 2 weeks worth of vacation time. Let me take my 2 week vacation. And it could, so what he's saying on that specific little tiny part of this affidavit could be 100% true. And if it is, that's probably the only thing coming out of his mouth that's true. Isaac denied any involvement in the disappearance of Ariel. On September 13th, 2021, video surveillance was recovered from the Kaluas residence, and Ariel was last seen on the surveillance cameras on August 18th, 2021. On November 5th, 2021, at about 1 p.m., Detective Shane Iwamoto, hereinafter Detective Iwamoto, conducted a recorded interview with Big Sister, and Big Sister related the following information. Now, here is where we get into the nitty gritty. This is the part that's really going to tell the story. So hold on. My mouth is coming dry. I'm getting sick. I need to quit drinking this Kool-Aid and get some water. Seems like Kool-Aid just makes you thirstier. Okay, so this is what Big Sister had to say. Big Sister says that she was asked to keep a secret by Lehua and Isaac regarding what happened to Ariel. So right there tells you Big Sister knows what happened to Ariel. And that Lehua and Isaac, quote unquote, asked her to keep a secret. Big Sister stated that the secret was that Ariel was in the bathroom in a dog cage, duct tape on her mouth and nose, and she didn't wake up. Big Sister further stated that she, the two smaller children, Isaac and Lehua, were sleeping when they got up at 3:32 a.m. Lehua and one of the siblings, Lehua and Big Sister, went to check on Ariel in the bathroom, and Ariel, quote, didn't wake up, unquote. Big Sister then was told to go back to sleep, and Isaac and Lehua stayed up. She does not know where they put Ariel the next morning. Oh, I got a G-Baby emergency. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to finish out this section, and then I'm going to come back later. I'm going to try to finish out this section, and then I'm going to come back later and finish it up because um, little Miss Bubby is not having this. I can't be around my Gigi right now. So
new messages received from 745433. New messages received from 7.
where was we at? And she doesn't know where they put her. Okay, so obviously Lehua woke her up so that she could come in the bathroom and see that her little sister was essentially no longer with us. That's why I have a hard time with the whole she was asked to keep a secret. I believe that Lehua's entire sadistic purpose in waking this girl up and having her come to the bathroom to quote unquote check on Ariel was to terrify her, was so that she could see, look, I done killed your sister. Don't think I have a problem with killing you too. And so the ask wasn't really an ask. It was a shut up or else. Okay, so we are on That's B. We're on the last part of section B. I'll try to mark this. And she says she doesn't know where they put IPK the next morning. They don't. She doesn't know where they put Ariel. So apparently, exactly, it is deep because this is not some kind of this is a whole nother level of evil. Like you got to be some kind of to do the type of stuff like right here. And Lehua, I wouldn't be surprised if she's into some other things because she is subtle with her evil. She's smooth. I won't say subtle. She's smooth with her evil. So ain't no telling what she's into, on the flip side. All right. That was the end of section B of the start of Big Sister's statements. So when I come back later, we will be on section C. And for now, I'm gonna go and see if I can get Miss Bubby to give me permission to come back later because I have to get permission from my G babies. It seems like. All right. I love y'all. Thanks.